Do you have a moment that you were like super proud of yourself? Like, oh fuck, I did that shit. Like when you hear your shit on the radio or something?
Yeah, set tripping. That was like, so I worked with East and like I had some stuff like that kind of like stood out, stuff, but like people didn't really know like, what I did. So when I started working with Cass, because I was kind of I had a point where I was working with both of them. I started like working with like Cass directly and we did set tripping. And originally I didn't know that record. He wasn't even signed to Rock Nation at that point. So kind of like independent. So when we did that record, they had found out I had just came back from Atlanta because I was working in Atlanta. I had just flew back and it was literally the next day. We did a session. And doing the session, I'm like, oh, this is violent. This is gonna go. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. You know what I mean? So this is the whole time, like now, we do the record, but this is the crazy part. Now, when we do the record, the beat was weird, right? So this is what I mean by mixed. But I'm not mad because this is why y'all got the passion out of the record. But the melody was really high, right? So it made Cat scream, right? Because he was trying to get with like the drums, and that record gave him mad energy. So there's a point in that record where it's distorted. You understand? A lot of people don't know that, but this is what I mean by like having other people who are like higher. Because Anthony calls me, he's like, "Oh, I heard the pushing in the vocals." I was like, "Huh? You can hear that?" I was like, "Nobody's gonna hear that." I was like, "It's like, dang." You know what I mean? But he showed me like how to actually, because like that was the thing with Cass. Like working with Cass was loud. You understand? So like getting him to not distort was like the hardest thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people don't yell. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like his talking voice was heavier than regular people's yelling voice. So it was like, oh, so when he's going, it was red. Oh, dang. Like, what is this? Oh, we had peaked out compressed like that, like 10 dB reduction. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So then he told me like really how to like, because really vocal is really strong in that preamp. You know what I mean? So it's really like a lot of people thinking like you can really just get strong preamp. It's not the compression is like for like the sexiness. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the reality of it, right? The distortion is coming. That's when he's like that distortion is coming from that preamp. You driving that preamp too hard. You know what I mean? So you thinking that it's cool, but once he gets to that point, you gotta leave yourself some headroom for a person. Like if they are gonna yell, they got headroom to yell. You know what I mean? Because you pushing it to that point where it's just. But if they yell, it's over. It's crunchy. You know what I mean? And that crunching only works with the aggression in that record. You know what I mean? That's why it was able to be hidden. But that like that's when I was like, oh shoot, people really like this. I went to the deli and like I was like, you don't know about this. You don't know about this. I was like, what? I don't know about this. I mixed this shit, nigga. What are you talking about? He's like, what? Open up my ears. He was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah. Like I'm walking down walking down the street because I live in Brooklyn, and I'm walking down the street and I'm hearing this in people's cars, and I'm like, oh, I'm hearing people's Instagrams. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so that was the first record that I would say that like it was like, oh wow, like I'm really here.